Hello MRH. In this video I will demonstrate how to enter a requisition in Alio. The first thing you'll do after logging into Alio is to look for a program over here in the programs list called Requisition Entry Approval. Some of you will have some folders like I do here. Others of you will just have a list of programs. Either way, somewhere over here you will find a program called Requisition Entry Approval. Mine happens to be in the purchasing folder. Double click that to launch it. First thing you'll need to do is to create a requisition number. Do that by simply clicking the requisition number button. You'll see that it's put a number here now, and it's grayed out so you can't change that. Date entered, account year, and the order and ship locations, and your buyer code. Next thing is the vendor. Click the down arrow to search for your vendor. We're going to order some textbooks today, so we're going to look for Pearson. So you can type in a few letters there and then click find to do a search and look through the list, find the one you want. You can either double click it or click once and then click OK. I will double click and you'll see that it's filled out the rest of the vendor information here. If I hit tab a couple times, I'll come down here to the requester section. I will use myself for this, but it doesn't have to be you. You can put in a teacher's name or your supervisor's name or whoever happens to be the person that's requesting this particular purchase. Phone number is next. Please enter it this way. Alio doesn't like it in any other format. I'll show you what happens when you don't enter it that way. This is how I would typically type a phone number. So Alio reminds you that it would like it in this format. So we'll go ahead and click OK, delete this out, and type it in. Hit tab, that'll take us to the next field, which is order type. There's a number of things in here. You'll just select purchase order. Buyer code remains the same. No need to change that. Internal instructions, you don't need to type anything here. It's certainly not required. However, if you do need to leave a note for accounts payable, you can do that here. I will say this is just a test requisition. Do not process. So once you're through there, now we need to put in our line items. So this day, we're going to order some biology books. Biology books tend to be pretty expensive. Hit tab, that takes us to our quantity. We're just doing fill-in books. We don't need full sets. We're just replacing some missing ones to complete our class sets. So put in your quantity, hit tab, that takes us to unit cost. Biology books are actually pretty expensive. You'll have a quote in front of you, so you won't need to guess on these numbers. The quote will tell you exactly what they cost, but in this case, I'm just going to assume they're $250. I'll hit tab and you'll see that extended cost here is filled out for us. Let's do some AP chemistry books. We just need 3 of these, and let's just say that these are $285 a piece. Click in the description field below, and that will open up this line for entry. We'll get some geometry books. Hit tab, takes us to quantity. I need 7 of these. And these are also pretty expensive. We'll say these are $185 a piece. Hit tab, extended cost is calculated. Now we do need some Spanish books, but I'm out of line items here. So come up here, click on the plus sign. If I hover, you'll see that it says create a new record. So I click that. A new record is then created. So we can go ahead and enter in our Spanish books. Spanish books are relatively affordable, which is just a guess. But if I hit tab, go to quantity, enter my quantity, hit tab again, $85 in unit cost, hit tab, and my extended cost is then calculated. The next step is to allocate these line items to accounts. Now this next part can be a little tricky, so I will do the best I can to explain the best way to do this. You are able to allocate each line to a different account. You can also enter each line to the same account. I would rather enter one account number and have the entire thing go to this one account because these are all in fact high school textbooks. However, you can see that once I leave this line here and I tab or click over into it, it's already decided that it wants to put in line 1 to line 1. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. The account number, I will hit the drop down to search because most of us don't have the account numbers memorized. At least I certainly wouldn't expect you to. So type in a few letters to search for high school textbooks. I hit tab over. Now I'm in amount. Delete this amount. And then I'm going to come back over here to line, enter 4, tab over, delete that. And you'll see when I delete and then tab out, it recalculates using the entire requisition total. Okay? I'm going to show you one other way to do it. Let's say that these were a mix of high school and middle school books. We can also accommodate that. So let me change this back to line 1 to line 1, and we'll say that those biology books are high school books, and we'll just pretend that the rest of those books are middle school books. So let me delete this out. I hit tab. It'll calculate for me the actual amount for line 1 to line 1. If I hit tab again, it will take me to the next line. So I have line 2 to line 2. I want line 2 to line 4. So click the down arrow, select line 4, tab over, and you can see already it's decided that it just wants to do line 2. Again, we'll come back to that in just a second. Hit the down arrow next to the account field here. Type in a few letters to search by. Middle school textbooks is the example I'm using. We'll tab over to the amount, delete it, tab over, and we're going to come back over here. And once we do that, you see that it will have finished out the entire total. Tab out of it, and now we have $3,740, and that matches exactly what this needs to be. The final step is to click Finish. This will take this requisition and push it through the approval chain. Once I've done that, you'll see that requisition status is now filled in. So since I'm the last step in the approval chain, this, when I click Finish, it automatically approved it. On yours, it will say requires approval by, and then it'll have the user code for the person who needs to approve it next. All right, that's all there is to entering a requisition. Thanks a lot. Let us know if you have any questions.